This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yesterday, Jeff Passan was on Rich Eisen's podcast, and he was asked about the chances of the baseball season happening in 2020. I want you to hear what Passan told Rich Eisen about this. Go ahead.
For the whole enchilada.
Yes.
I'm still over 50%. I was at 75 yesterday afternoon or so. And part of that is because I thought the union was gonna bend a little bit. I did. I did not believe that the union was gonna come out as strident as it did. And when that happened, that definitely decreased the possibility of a season happening this year, but it certainly did not nullify it. What it did was set up a scenario in which the doomsday trigger could be pulled. It's going to come down to the owners. I mean, I do believe when the players say we want to play, I do actually believe that. I think there are some owners who don't.
Really?
I think there's some owners who worry. Yeah, I think there's some owners who worry that playing is going to cost them too much. They're going to lose too much money, and that they would rather just punt the 2020 season. And that is, that's it's a scary thing to hear.
It is because
it feels like you're focusing just on 2020 and not the repercussions beyond.
So, I mean, it's the part I don't understand about baseball owners is, don't they see their sport going down the drain? And I don't care what, I know we had Craig Mish on yesterday. He was saying, well, teams are still being sold for a lot of money. Yeah, they are. Those days are dying. And those, mark my words, I've been saying it now for a couple of years. When these new TV contracts come up, they're going to be a lot less money. There is no way TV deals continue at the pace they were continuing when there's no interest in baseball. You know what I'm saying? There's no interest in baseball. So if there's no interest in baseball, how can they keep paying all those ridiculous salaries? They can't. And baseball doesn't sell itself on social media. You don't see them dominating in video games. There's nothing about baseball that is modern. And you know what I love? I love the lazy thing that I get from fans. We've got to speed up the game. No, you don't. You have to make the game cool again. Ricky Henderson was cool. Reggie Jackson was cool. That's why baseball was on top. And the problem is basketball players are cool. They're on social media. They're doing commercials. They're stopping in the middle of neighborhoods and dunking on kids in their driveways. And then it goes viral. Because all of a sudden, an NBA player can pop up in your neighborhood now. Do you ever see a baseball player do that? Chicks dig the long ball. It's a commercial that has stuck with us for 20 years. It shows you how much baseball sucks at marketing. That's the problem with baseball. How do you connect with young people? Dude, you got to be on social media. That's where they are. Are you TikToking? Are you Instagramming? Are you tweeting? Are you going back and forth? Because that's what you'll see John Morant and a veteran basketball player going back and forth. That's what I'm talking about. Football players are cool. Basketball players are cool. Soccer is cool to young people. Baseball is not cool. Football games last over 3 hours. We're not telling you to speed up a football game because it's cool. We'll wait through the commercials and all the breaks. We can complain all we want, and yet all we do is watch football. And yet for baseball, it's over 3 hours too, sometimes maybe even 3.5, 4 hours. But yet we have to speed that game up. You know why we have to speed that game up? Because there's no interest in that game. Now, they've done it to themselves for all the examples I've told you off the field. On the field, you no longer have people stealing bases. Because it was cool when it was Lou Brock and it was Ricky Henderson and it was Willie McGee and company. It was cool. It's cool to see. You know what would be really cool? To see you shift on somebody and then they hit to the opposite field. That would be really cool. You know, it'd be really cool if they start bunting and moving people over. You know, more action, more decisions having to be made. And if you bring back base stealing, you bring back something exciting to the game. You know, one of the guys said to me, when was the last time they stole home? I said, they don't steal second. You know? Like Billy Ball would be something new to baseball fans now. Like Billy Ball, what the hell are you talking about? Well, you're not old, so you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Billy Ball might be really entertaining in today's world. But baseball has got... in fact, we were having this conversation before I got on the air. Do you know what's the coolest thing that's happened in baseball the entire offseason? And I just remembered right now, Bill. The coolest thing was Mike Trout hitting a golf ball out of Top Golf. Because we couldn't remember Top Golf before. Anyway, that's the most famous thing that went on in baseball so far throughout the pandemic. Was him hitting a golf ball. I think he hit it into space, actually.
That's spot on. Yeah.
It just disappeared into the ozone. That's the most famous thing, and it went viral. And by the way, that was even before the pandemic, because obviously you could not get together at Topgolf during the pandemic. So that was before. That's baseball for you, bro. They don't know how to sell the damn sport. And so now you hear Jeff Passan, and you hear that they may be punting. You got to use a football term because, of course, baseball's too lame to use their own terms. You got to be punting on, let's not balk. No, let's punt on the 2020 season. These guys are idiots. You want to bury your sport even more now. It's just...
This would be worse than the 94 shutdown.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes. Right? You don't get it, baseball. People are dying on you. You're not picking up any new fans. And you're going to do this also? Wow. It's really amazing to me how clueless they are in baseball.
You know what I think is one of the base problems, though, with baseball? The owners think it's their sport. You know what I mean? They don't have the wherewithal that it's the national pastime. It's about the fans, and it's about the fans because when the fans go, that's the end of baseball.
Yep.
And they think it's theirs.
Yep. Drubo says, I remember SNL did a skit on Angry Man. I think we have one in the chat room. Man of 1,005 holds. MLB needs to cancel this season and hire new marketing people where there are Gatorade commercials, hot dog commercials, or a baseball player playing with kids. They don't get it, my brother. They don't know how to market. Oh, just want to thank you for doing what you do every day. Sports, music, dogs, kittens, etc. Great on Sirius, greater here. Don't always agree with that in his life, but you help big time in a sportsless era. Thank you, Mark McIntyre. Appreciate you, my friend, for keeping it locked here. Julius 305 keeping it locked and sending it in on the Super Chat.
What's going on in there?
Super Chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super Chat.
If he
Super Chat.
will all
Super Chat.
it'll be anarchy. It's out of my hands.
No bat flips, unwritten rules. Hell, WBC is more exciting. Hopefully changes will come soon. You're right. The World Baseball Classic is way more exciting. The fans are into it. The emotions are more involved. You're right, actually. The World Baseball Classic has a more I don't know what it is. I don't know the
modern
right word.
and proactive, connecting with the fans feel.
It's like but
it's a celebration. You know,
I'm just looking for the right word for it. But
playing for the love of the game. There's not
the energy. The energy of that game is completely different than an MLB game. You're right about that. But I think it's also the fans that are in it too are extremely passionate about the game. Unless it's Cubs, Yanks, Sox, or Dodgers, markets only pay attention to their MLB teams when they are contending. Contend and draw $3 million, lose and draw 1.5. Some markets never care. David, hard to argue with anything you said there, bro.
No, and exactly what David's talking about. Remember the previous commissioner that owned the Milwaukee Brewers and was content to have a bad team and collect the TV money for the luxury taxes and make his money, and didn't care about the product that he was putting out there on the field. And that was from the commissioner, Bud Selig, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is a perfect example of where baseball owner, the commissioner being in the baseball owner's back pocket has no spine. It's backward ass, and they do it to themselves.
Yep. Alexa says, let's ride out to Top Golf when it's safe. Let's do it, Alexa. In fact, I will talk to the people at Top Golf and set something up. I lived in Japan, and baseball is like a rock concert. Also, the local players usually play for the team where they grew up. Yeah, because it's probably more homegrown intense there, and that's probably why you kind of get it. They probably market themselves inside their community a lot more. And I will give credit to the Marlins. They are trying to do some of the things that I've talked about. The problem is their names are so young and unproven that they're not there yet to sell those kind of guys. But some of those young cats, because I had those conversations with them, and they understand how they need to sell the sport. And I think young people that are now in baseball, they understand that a little bit, but they've got to get to that point where they are doing it like the basketball, the football, and the soccer players. I mean, you gotta pick up on it that, the world is passing you by. And if you keep screwing around, that's just going to set you back in a big-time way.
Oh, should not the Oakland A's fans go and protest or something to that owner? Because when they do that correlation of $100,000 guy not willing to give $50, that's the equivalent of this guy not paying the minor league players. I'm sorry. There's no way the optic looks good. That's just piss poor, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. I mean, just everything about baseball right now, it's disturbing, man. It's disturbing. And to see that they may pass up on the season, it's crazy to think that you would actually do something like that.